Hello everyone, it's Truds here, and today we've got another Destiny 2 video. As with any new season, there always comes a time when changes to weapon archetypes are discussed, with some changes benefiting underused weapons, whilst others force us to put certain toys back into the box. Well, with Season 11 fast approaching, there's one particular sandbox update which is going to shake things up, especially in the PvP landscape. Now, you might have seen many of the top options discussed around the community, but there's one I think you should keep an eye on. Obviously, we'll be going into some build details too at the end of the video for this one to make the most out of it. The change we are talking about today though is the upcoming buff to the high impact frame pulse rifle. In a recent update, Bungie stated that these pulse rifles were underused somewhat in PvP, and although they have a very fast optimal time to kill, it is very hard to achieve. Now, this is mainly due to all the flinch in the game, especially with all the 600 RPM auto rifles running wild right now. So they said they are softening this with a slight bump to damage from 21 to 22 per bullet, which will give you a more forgiving and easier time to kill in a way. This change won't directly bring about a total meta shift, but I think it will combat the effectiveness of the auto meta we have now, especially at mid to long ranges. Like I said, there's many top options in this archetype, a number of which have been highlighted by fellow UK content creator Jarv in a recent video, so if you want to see the other top tier ones for next season, please go check out his video. I'll leave a link in the description below, but only after you've watched this one first. Now, there's one weapon that is being massively overlooked though for Season 11's potential meta shift, and one that technically you can't get anymore. That is the Trials of the 9 pulse rifle, Relentless. Now, every time an adjustment to this archetype has occurred in the past, I've always gone back to using this iconic Destiny 2 vanilla pulse rifle. There's just something about it which feels oddly satisfying and not as clunky as some of the other high impact frame options. Now granted, it's stuck in the OG pre-random rolls era, but it does have some top tier and unique perk options for this type of pulse rifle. So first up, high impact frames are slow firing with high damage, much like you may expect from its name. This weapon is also more accurate when stationary and aiming down sights, so you'll want to be as still as possible when using this weapon, although I do find that the standard strafing doesn't overly affect this weapon as much as other ones in this archetype, which is probably down to the fact that this weapon has a fixed mid-zoom Trials of the 9 style scope. It doesn't have any scope options due to this, but the one it does have is very clean and offers an awesome field of view when aiming down sights. Now, Relentless has 3 barrel options to choose from. I've personally gone for chambered compensator due to its increase to stability and recoil direction. It does make it more predictably vertical and is a great option on many weapons in the sandbox. You've also got full bore, which offers a huge jumping range at the cost of a chunk of stability and handling. This one is definitely more of a PC mouse and keyboard option in my opinion. Lastly, there's extended barrel for a bump to range and recoil at the cost of some handling. This one is not a bad option, but I find with this weapon stability is key, and keeping this one high makes it extremely usable in PvP, so chambered compensator is my go-to. Now, Relentless comes with 2 trait options, and both are great choices. Slideways is a unique choice as far as pulse rifle perks come, and not one you'd normally consider as a top pick. But with a boost to handling and stability after sliding, as well as partially reloading your magazine, it gives an awesome boost to this weapon's base stats. Slideways is active for about 5 seconds after sliding, and so is quite situational, but if you can get the timing right prior to any engagement, it'll give you a nice boost to the feel of the weapon, making it ultimately easier to land them crit shots to get that optimal time to kill. Now, if sliding isn't your thing, and to be honest it is very labour intensive gameplay wise to consistently be sliding to proc the buff, then you'll want to consider Head Seeker. This perk increases precision damage for a short time after landing body shots with this weapon. It's an always active perk and one that I've always preferred on pulse rifles outside of the standard kill clip rampage favourites amongst the community. It gives you even more leeway in terms of the time to kill, and with the upcoming buff in season 11, it'll make it even more forgiving. Lastly, you have snapshot sights in the final column, and this is the one that makes the weapon feel so much more agile than you would expect from this archetype. With a faster time to aim down sights alongside the unique Trials of the 9 scope, Relentless feels top tier in this archetype, as this makes the weapon just so easy to use. Honestly, I've not picked up this weapon in ages, and after trying out other high impacts recently such as the Redrick's Broadsword and Premonition, Relentless is in a league of its own. After running with another Trials of the 9 beast in Season of the Worthy with the Last Breath 600 RPM auto rifle, which is one I also covered in a video, I think that Relentless is also going to be in an absolute sweet spot in the Crucible in Season 11. I've had a lot of fun rocking this for the past week in the Crucible, and I can't see it going far from my loadout next season either. It's great at dueling ranges with the auto rifle meta right now, and it definitely catches a lot of people out who don't expect to get hit so hard from that range at the moment. Make sure to play your angles, and thanks to the agility of this weapon, you won't feel so sluggish lugging this run around either. Now unfortunately with this one, if you didn't compete in the Trials of the 9 in year 1 of Destiny 2, you won't be able to pull it from your collections. Also, with sunsetting imminent in year 4, this one is also set for the chopping block alongside many other pulse rifles in this category. So while you can, I highly suggest you dust this one off from your vault and give it a whirl. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised. Now, to make the most out of any pulse rifle build, you'll want to consider some armour mods. The pulse rifle specific mods are all arc affinity ones, so you'll need arc armour rolls. Pulse rifle targeting on your helmet and unflinching pulse rifle aim on your chest are always top options, with the enhanced versions of these adding even greater benefits. These mods assist with the aim assist and reticle stickiness, as well as reducing incoming flinch when being hit during an engagement, which are always very useful mods in PvP. You can also consider the pulse rifle dexterity mod on your leg armour, but it's one that I don't use regularly, but it will bump up the handling stat of the weapon even more. I also usually run multiple powerful friends mods for the mobility boost. Unfortunately, the stacking ability of this mod is getting changed next season, so it will no longer stack, but one mod in any loadout will still be a must have in my opinion. On top of that, and especially on my Warlock's exotic transversive steps, I use the traction mod, which on top of the sprint speed increase from the exotic, the tighter turn radius and mobility boost of traction really does improve the movement speed with Relentless equipped. So that's a sneaky look at my PvP loadout and a deep dive into an upcoming top tier vintage weapon with the Trials of the 9's Relentless. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this upcoming pulse rifle change and if you'll be moving away from auto rifles. If you're new around here, then please hit the subscribe button. The growth on my channel has been staggering, so if you want to get involved and stay up to date, subscribing is a free and easy way to support me, as well as leaving a rating down below too. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.